Hello, my name is Nate. Welcome to my art channel, and today I'm doing another botanical impression piece. I'm really super happy with how this one turned out, so I'm excited for you to see it. Let me know in the comments what you think also. So you can see I'm working on a 24 by 48 inch canvas, and the first thing I did was put down a layer of water, just a light mist of water, just to help the canvas absorb the rest of the paintings, or the rest of the paint. If you hear some bird song, some bugs flying around, I'm out in the garden while I'm doing this voiceover. This first color of paint that I'm putting down is Amsterdam Warm Gray. It's one of my favorite new neutral colors that I've been using. It's a really beautiful kind of taupe color, and it plays really well with both warm and cool colors. I really love it. So I put that down first. I'm using a spray bottle. I've mixed my paints 4 parts water to 1 part paint. It's really important in this technique to break the binders in the paint. Normally, they wouldn't suggest that you use any more than 25% water to your paint. But in this process, I want the surface tension of my botanicals to pull the colors underneath the leaf. So it's important to break those binders. I have mixed it all the way up to 10 parts water to 1 part paint. But I'm getting really good color saturation with this 4:1, so I'm happy with it so far. So now I'm placing down my leaves. I got these really tall grass stems just walking down the street here in my neighborhood. There's some beautiful big tall grasses with big fluffy seed heads, and I was really inspired to try and capture that on canvas. So one of the interesting things about grass leaves is that they tend to curl inwards as they dry. They can form little tubes. So to keep that from happening, I rolled them out with a kitchen roller just to kind of break up that center spine on the leaf, and that kept them from curling up. And I like the way that I bent some of the leaves just to give the impression that they were kind of blowing in the breeze. And these are the seed heads. They're so beautiful and kind of wispy. But you'll notice what I do next is I cut those seed heads off of the main stalk once I've got them placed where I want them, because anything really, really thin like that, that stalk there isn't going to leave a good impression anyway. And cutting those seed heads off of the main stem gives me the freedom to kind of place them where I want them rather than necessarily where they were growing. So I can actually work on my composition a little better that way. And you can see how those seed heads are soaking up that paint. They're pulling that paint into themselves because I've broken the binders. So now I'm going to layer on, I think I put in 5 more stalks of grass, and I put them right over top of one of those pieces that I had folded over to get some really nice depth and layering there. I really work on getting a good seal. There's going to be some air bubbles underneath. Every leaf, you can have 1,000 leaves, and every one of them is going to be slightly different, even though they're the same size and shape and that kind of thing. As they grow, different things happen to them. So some are going to be longer, some are going to have little indents in different places. So every leaf is going to leave a different impression, and that's one of the things I love about this. There's a little bit of chaos and there's a little bit of control, but I also have to release some of the control as I go. And through this process, I don't have any idea what's happening underneath the leaf until I reveal it at the end. So it's part of what I love about this process. And I just want to point out too that I had initially planned on bending that leaf, but I changed my mind. It's very forgiving. You can move these things around. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be perfect the very first time you place it down. You can play around and shift things around, move them around. So after I get all of these placed, I do put on another layer of the exact same color. It helps seal the leaves in, and creates a really good contact. And then I put on a layer of plastic, which holds everything down, but it also creates some really interesting patterns in the negative space. But I only do that on the first layer. Again, just trying to get those leaves to kind of seal in place. And then after that, as I add more colors to this, the surface tension of the wet paint that's underneath the leaves draws the additional color in, so I get some really good variation of color in very organic ways underneath the leaves. But you don't need that plastic wrap to hold it all down because it's already done its job. You can see me here putting on the next set of seed heads and cutting them off of the stem. So after this layer, the next layer of color is quinacridone nickel azo gold. I thought it complemented this, the orange tones of the quinacridone nickel azo gold really complemented this warm gray color. And then on top of that, I put on 3 layers of green. I started with an olive green, and then with whatever I had left over, I added a little bit of permanent green medium to it. And then whatever I had left of that, I added some Payne's Gray from Goldens, which has more of a deep blue color, but it also really made it dark. And I like to work either dark to light with these botanical imprints, or I like to work light to dark. And so that's what I did on this one. I worked with my lightest color and finished with my darkest. That strong contrast really makes me very happy, and I can see the details of the impression that way very well. So I'm going to put on some music for you now, and if I've forgotten anything, I will put it in the as little cards as I go along. Oh, I did want to point out also, it's really important not to have anything overlapping the edge of the canvas, so I am just cutting anything off here and making some final adjustments to the composition. But I'm cutting off anything that overlaps so that it doesn't, when I put on the plastic, it doesn't warp the shape or the placement that I've put on. Okay, now I'm going to put on some music for you, and at the very end of this video, I'm going to put on some pictures of what my Patreon group has been working on this week. In 2 weeks, we're going to do we're going to have our collab, and the theme this year was our 250th, the U.S. 250th anniversary, our celebration for the July the 4th. I know it's going to be late, but it's just kind of how the timing worked out. But I'm really excited about all of these very patriotic paintings that we've all been working on. They've all been showing me some all of their practice pieces, and you're going to see a couple of those here at the end. But yes, thank you very much for watching. Go mix up some paints and be fearless.